Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to find out how well this 5-year-old GTX 980 combined with the 7-year-old i7-3770K handles this new Gears of War 5 game in 2019. But before that, please don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe down below, and thank you for watching. Now, first thing is first, let me go over the settings here. I am using the Evga GTX 980, which is currently overclocked by 100 megs on the core, 300 megs on the memory clock. Next, I have the i7-3770K, which is overclocked to 4.7 gigs. I wasn't able to go any higher. Even at 4.8, I would just get kicked out of every game I tried. I was able to boot into Windows, but I was not able to play the games at all. Also, I have the hyper-thread disabled, so I'm running only on 4 cores, and that's why you'll see the usage is very high. It hits 100 and a lot of the times, but I'm here to tell you that it's really, when it comes to this processor, it's really not an issue at all, because I'm still getting really good performance, and the FPS average is really good for an old card like this. I'm running this on ultra settings, and I'm still above 60 FPS for most of the times, and also able to run this game on 4K resolution on medium settings. And when this processor is overclocked to this 4.7 gigahertz or so, around that area, there's really no reason to even consider some of the newer i7s, in my opinion, because it does perform very similar overall if you have all the right settings. And in my opinion, a lot of the people out there, especially the big YouTubers out there, they testing out all the newer hardware, and for the budget guys like us, you know, chances are it'll take us years before we get our hands on some of the newer stuff, and the performance is really not as big as they show you. You could really tweak this game to run really good. There's many different ways to get around, and one of the ways is to disable the hyper-thread, and you get really good performance, especially when it comes to this game. So without further ado, let me show you the settings, and we'll get this thing started. As you can see, I'm going to switch to the Ultra preset. And the only option I'll turn off is the motion blur, which is completely useless. There you have it. And again, I must stress this again, I did have some comments below with the high CPU usage saying that that's it, the processor is no longer good. But I don't think people are really looking at the actual FPS and the performance. A lot of the times, in my personal experience, when you see the processor at a higher usage, with the better processors, of course, the higher the usage is, the more performance you'll get out of it. Now, of course, if you're talking about an old i3 or even a quad 2 core, when that thing is just 100% the whole time, and no matter what graphics card you put in, you're going to be like at 30-40 FPS on all the settings, then yeah, that's a different story. But when it comes to this i7, there's still a lot of juice left.
Quickly. You guys plan to launch a satellite? It seems a little half-baked.
No, half-baked plans are kind of Barrett's specialty.
How Barrett even figured out that he had it?
My father, before he died, he let Barrett in on a few cog secrets. In this island, and there's plenty of them.
Now also I must note that this game does use the processor a bit more than other newer titles, and that's why the temperatures are pretty high. If I test some of the other games with the same hardware, the temperature is going to be a lot less. But of course, disabling hyperthread will lower your temperatures, and that's why they are fairly reasonable.
Gotta cut through. Okay, let's go. Stay back. We're coming down. Hey, whoa. Guess who? Dave's in. Let's see what we're dealing with. I'll take care of it. Okay, let's put him down.
Get into cover! More drones!
Target's the only one left.
All right, that's all of them.
Bear, confirmed. Your burial site is active.
Shit. Okay, the door's in the air. Let me know if you need reinforcements.
We get it handled for now. Delta out. Come on, we're gonna find one of those silos. Assuming the swarm haven't ripped them all apart.
Hey, I think we can get down this way.
Now the rest of the video I will run on 4K, and I was able to get good quality performance on medium settings, medium preset on 4K. Runs really good. There you have it. We're around 60 FPS average. What more else can you ask for this old hardware?
Sorry.
Okay, he's heavy.
I'm okay, alright? Let's just find a silo.
For the record, you don't seem okay.
There's too many active hives. Everywhere we go, another burial site's hatched. All the places.
Let's hope Jensen's
Now, of course, you could raise up the settings on 4K. Definitely on high, you could play this game. But if you want to stay around 60 FPS, that's going to be your sweet spot. So yeah, that's pretty much the conclusion. As you could see, at least in this game, and I have other games to test out to show you how well this old hardware performs in the newer games today. But in this game, I think it runs really good.
You're coming out of that nest.
And anybody who has such hardware or could get it for a really good deal is definitely worth it, and you'll be lucky to have this.
Guys, we're in a silo. There, we found one of the silos, but it's wrecked.